I'm one of the strongest men to ever walk the earth.
I love Caesar salad.
Ian, do you think women should be quiet until they climax?
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't it just mess you all up when they're like, oh, I'm getting close? And then you're like, that's my red button. Like, if you say you're close, that means I'm done. Like, that's the eject button.
I find it more like working out when they say I'm close. I feel like you're telling me two more. Just do two more.
I had that. I wish I had that in me. Because I hear I'm close. And that's like literally hitting the eject button for me.
Well, the weird part, it just makes me feel like I have a spotter.
Never train alone.
Help me, buddy. Help me.
I wonder if I was training alone and I told myself I was close, if it worked the same.
Oh yeah, but it's sadly
It just makes it way worse.
Speaking of by the way, welcome to Husky Boys, everybody. My name's Ian. That's Robert. Episode something. We're having a good time. Our guest today is somebody that Robert has worked before. Who's our guest, Robert?
Well, today we have Rob Worsoff joining us. He is, most of all, he's my bud. He's my bro. He's a homie. But he's a dirty Canadian. Like
Gross.
Despicable.
A skidooer. He's a skidooer.
So he's a dirty Canuck. And you didn't think I knew that word, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
And he's been, I mean, going through the list of his credits is insane. Like, he was one of the original Duck Dynasty guys. He was on remember that boat where they did crabbing out in the ocean, Deadliest Catch?
Yes.
One of those guys. He's done a bunch of big stuff. He does a lot of creative stuff. He works right now for the NHL. He's been working for the NHL for maybe 5-10 years. So he gets to go to all these games and have access to all like the big players and do like the breakdowns, makes the highlights and all that stuff. So he's in your world, my world, and he's a cool guy. Ton of fun to talk to. He's been around forever. So
that's awesome. Well, he'll be in in a bit. We start this off by talking about what's going on with us. Everything seems to be good in the world. Nothing seems to be going wrong. It just seems to be happy-go-lucky for everybody.
Well, I mean, at least right now we're not at World War III as of today.
Not now. Give it a couple hours. We'll be fine.
Bro, how are we always flirting with the idea of a gigantic war? Like, when nobody agrees with it except for like a couple billionaires, like anybody you walk on the street, they don't even have to be Canadian. You could go talk to an American and they still are like, nah, I'd rather not murder people. You know, I'd rather not. And then
people don't really want war. It's the older guys that want war that get younger guys all jacked up to go fight their wars for them. It's just silly. I don't know.
And then we get a new country song. America had a scar on her face, and Toby Keith is coming back to send our boys to war.
Oh my God! You know that guy that sings "I'm proud to be an American."
Toby Keith.
No, it's a different guy. It's a different guy. This old weird guy. He's
the original.
Really, yeah, he's so funny. They cut him off from singing it at one event. Like, they got so tired of him. They're just like, shut up. We get it. You're proud.
I watched a hockey highlight this week.
What'd you watch?
Americans and Canadians played, I don't know how long ago.
Yes, this year.
The Canadians were booing the national anthem. So within the first 9 seconds, there was 3 fights. And there was
a lot of fighting going on.
I love that. Like, I mean, I wish that could be it. Like, I wish wars could be settled on the ice. Oh, how awesome would that be? But they get going. They get going, and you see the guys agree to it beforehand. You see them; they're skating around. They get up there and they're eye to eye, like, yeah. Drop the puck. Nobody cares about the puck. Nobody's playing hockey. Throw the sticks down. Throw the gloves down. Circle up. Like, that's the coolest thing. And then in the third fight, I don't think the third one was planned because it was like one of the superstar, smaller players for America got into it with a big defender from Canada. And like the Canadian guy had him at arm's length. Hockey fighting is the way to fight. If you want to learn how to fight in the street, grab somebody's shirt, pull it over their head. It works.
Pull it over and just pound them in the face. I'll tell you how hockey is. So when I was a little kid, we lived next door to the DeLucas, and his dad and my dad would make us an ice rink out the back every year. And his mom and my mom had to have a talk with us because what we'd do is we'd go out the back and we'd have a face off, and then we'd drop our sticks and just start punching each other. And so we got the talk. That's not hockey, boys. That's part of hockey, but that's not all it is, boys.
It's the most important part.
Speaking of dicks with weights, Conor McGregor. I mean, did you see this at all? Did you see this?
I didn't see any of this. How like this has got to be like hot off the presses, fresh.
This is like yesterday. This is yesterday. So he sends a picture to Iggy Azalea or Alia Ziggia or something. I don't know. She's an interviewer and announcer personality for UFC. Oh, so she hangs out with it. So he sends her a picture.
Unless he sent it to Iggy Azalea, the actual Iggy Azalea, who's the singer. But I think he sent it to the. There's a singer named Iggy Azalea.
Yeah. So he sent it. He sent a picture of himself naked. He's like, "Hey, how about this?
Face too, or just
like full?
Oh my gosh!
And then he said he didn't get a response, so he sent another one with a weight hanging off it, hanging off the tip. He wanted to show her how much he could bench press with his hammer. But the best part it was totally it wasn't even asked for. It wasn't like, hey, show me your. She wasn't even friends with him. She had to accept the photo because when you're on Instagram you have to accept if somebody does. Yeah, she had to accept, and that's the greeting she got. Hello.
That was some coke-fueled night of bad decisions.
To me, it's funny. But I feel bad for both sides. I don't know. She seems like the kind of girl that's just gonna. We've talked about it before about being taken down when you're young by a strong female, right? Like I talked about Carissa Gillis, me telling her suck my dick, and she said I choke on small bones. Like people need that kind of woman in their life, and women need those women in their life to learn how to you don't fall apart when these things happen. You take them hard. And she
works with fighters a lot too. So she's around. I've seen her. She had some awkward interviews with a couple of the guys that got popular because of like they'll either flirt with her and she'll shut them down, or like she'll even set it up to where sounds funny flirtatiously, but she's very comfortable in her skin, and she's she's like you said, she's not going to get broken down someone sending a naked pic. That the mindset you got to be like you're like the Muhammad Ali of today, right?
Right. Yeah.
You put your face and your wiener in the same picture. You're messed up, dog. He's got to go to freaking rehab. He needs help. He needs help.
He's a mess. But the reason I wanted to bring it up was I want to know: do you prefer stronger women, or do you prefer? I would say your lady's very.
I mean, like that kind of strong.
Doesn't have to be. Doesn't it just like mentally strong? Just personally, like I some guys. They don't really. They like a girl that is a little submissive. Yeah. But also, your life is their life, right?
Yeah.
I like my wife. Her life is her life, and she enhances mine. I think that's great. I just what kind of lady do you like?
I'm the same way. I as I got older, I started to get really picky about the girl has to have their own goals, their own things. It has to be. It has to be something, because you do a lot of dating when you're younger, if you're lucky enough, and handsome husky boys like us.
Husky boy style.
I mean, husky boys get girls, bro.
Husky boys.
If you're lucky enough to date around and kind of get to learn what you like, for me, like I started off with. I was one. I'm not trying to insult anybody.
Crazy,
I started off with stoners. Just like we just want to like chill and hang out at the beach and that kind of stuff. or surfer girls or whatever, and they can be really cute. But like at a certain point, like when your life is in your hands, when you're an adult, you feel like either someone's weighing you down or they're helping you up. There's not a lot of people out there that just exist next to you. That doesn't really happen. I mean, unless you like, they're just people you run into at the grocery store every once in a while. So for me, it was important that they had to have their own goals. And my girl, she's big into horses. You won't like what she does for a living, but she's got a job, and she's
what do you mean? I won't like what she does. What
she works for an amazing gun company called PWS that sells
guns. Why would I not like that? Why would I not?
Oh, I thought you didn't originally. I thought we talked earlier about that.
I'm not anti-gun. I'm pro-gun law. Like I really enjoy guns. I enjoy shooting them.
Nice.
I've been hunting a couple times. Not a big fan of killing animals. Not a big fan of it. I know where meat comes from. I know I should be. I should be shooting my own
you
meat.
Eat meat, but you don't like the process of doing it. I understand that too.
But I also feel like we need a license for a vehicle. I think you should have a license for a gun.
I feel that way too, which drives my redneck buddies crazy. I feel like the test for driving shouldn't be harder than the test for a gun.
Yeah.
But the thing is when you get into conversations about that, most people who feel like that don't even know that they think you can go buy a gun at like an expo and have no background check. They don't understand people. So like government officials will keep hounding, we need common sense gun laws and universal background checks. But that's just like their argument. We do have universal background checks. It's not called universal background checks, but every state, you can't. There's a zillion videos on YouTube of kids trying to be like, look how easy it is to get a gun. And then they go and realize they can't get a gun. So I do think, just to put it back in, but I feel like, yes, there should be a test as if you were doing a driving test. I feel like that too. But I mean, I also understand like, people get crazy about their guns.
It's where I grew up, we had a lot of those gun racks in the back of pickup trucks, right? And since there hasn't been gun racks in pickup trucks, things have gone off into the ditch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I can't solve the problem. I know most people that yip yap can't solve the problem. Most people that are talking about it, they're just talking to talk, right? But there is a problem. I think guns are interesting. I think they're fantastic. I like a good slingshot. I like a good pepper ball gun. I like a good, like all sorts of I like weapons. I think weapons are interesting as fuck. And but at the same time, should I have every weapon? Probably not. Anyway,
well, you're probably fine. It's just people who are like if you're on 3 different antidepressants,
I'm probably fine.
I mean, I've got to see you take a test, But
you're probably fine.
But like, if you hang around guns as often as I do, like, I mean, my clothing
just call your lady a pistol.
Well, she also teaches women's safety courses for women to carry concealed. So like that, to me, I love that. Like, I think women, of course, definitely should go take the courses, learn to be comfortable with it.
Anybody that has a gun should take a course.
Yes, for sure. But I was going to say, even women like that want to do like pepper spray or whatever, like being comfortable and confident, like repeating the situation that you would feel like is the possibility.
Agreed.
Like you want to have that happen. It's like
absolutely
like in sports or comedy or anything, you have to do it,
Yeah. I agree. Anyways, what we're trying to say is don't put a weight on your dick.
Unless you're Conor McGregor. I mean,
and then take a picture of it and send it to
everybody. Let's be real. What did you think of his hog? I didn't even see it. Come on.
They blanked that out. They blanked out the hog. But it wasn't a very big.
It's because you're on Blue Sky or something. You got to go somewhere else to find it.
Oh my God, I got to go deep into the dark web to find Conor McGregor's dick. Hey, we got a guest coming up. Rob's going to be here in a second. It's Robert's buddy. My name's Ian Bagg. I'm along for the ride. It's Husky Boys. If you have ever had to go into a special section to get your pants, you're a husky boy, my friend.
Yeah,
So
man.
we'll be right back.
All right, guys. We have today my buddy, my good friend, Rob Worsoff out of West Hollywood. But don't get confused. He is Canadian. Rob, you look good, buddy. I mean, I'm going to talk about your work and all the amazing things. I'll get through some of your list of accolades. But first off, are you working out and stuff, bud? You look great. You look really good.
No, I had a date last night, so I shaved.
So, but you look skinny, man. You look good.
I don't know. I feel like a fatty.
Are you doing anything?
You're in the right podcast.
I do a lot of walking, and
we call it husky here. We call it husky. Yeah.
Yeah, I walk and right now I'm stressing a lot. There's a lot of like stress, so I'm just like not eating.
Yeah. What are you stressing about? What are you stressing about?
Just life, Hollywood, the collapse of Hollywood.
Oh, no.
Getting older. Oh, like how about this? Truth, objective truth just collapsing in on itself.
You sound like West Hollywood.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
There's nothing to stress about on planet Earth right now. Like nothing going on. It's all good.
Nothing.
I love the fact. I love the fact that you're just falling apart, even though that you play and make believe. Like that's your whole life is make believe, and you're like, oh my God, the reality's coming at me hard for.
Yeah. Living like Peter Pan is finally catching up with me.
It sure does show up one day, knocks at your door. Hello, Captain Hook. Your turn.
Right.
Well, Rob's been in the industry for 20 years. Worked on, don't get embarrassed, Rob. Worked on a bunch of gigantic shows. Got some great awards. I mean, the highlights, you got Duck Dynasty, Strongest Men in History, obviously. A bunch of other stuff. And Rob's, instead of being just a producer, Rob's really big on the creative side. Again, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but Rob's really in there. Like, I know when I worked with them, we traveled all around the world, and Rob's really got his fingers in like the pies of like the actual visual aspect. It's like a lot of producers are kind of just walking around shaking hands and talking to people, which is a big part of it. But creative producer too. Is there a different title for that? What would you call yourself, Rob?
I directed Duck Dynasty, and I just did a couple years ago. I did a Amazon All or Nothing on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I was like just the director. I lived with them for the season. So I think that I don't really know the roles. Like maybe I just haven't stayed in my lane, but I tend to, write stuff, and I tend to just get involved in directing stuff, I guess. Not so much camera direction, more than just getting people to do weird, funny shit.
Rob was always the one convincing us to do weird shit. Always.
Nice, Rob. Nice. Which show did you do for the Toronto Maple Leafs? What did you do behind the scenes on Amazon? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I directed All or Nothing on the Maple Leafs. I lived with them for the whole season. Bus, team plane.
Nice.
Ian's a huge hockey fan.
I do have a background in hockey. I played a little bit, and then I ended up in a movie called MVP2, which is about a chimpanzee that plays hockey, and I played Olaf Dance, the Swedish sensation. So I have a little bit of a background. I have a hockey podcast. My buddy that I grew up with played in the NHL, and then now he flies planes for Alaska Airlines, and we have a podcast together. But I'm curious. Jeff Sharples is his name.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we call Enjoying Orange Slices is our podcast, and we have a lot of fun on doing that.
I work at the NHL, by the way, a little bit. Like I'm like the ninth defenseman.
Nice.
There's a thing I call cansplaining. It's when Canadians explain things to Americans. There's only 6 defensemen on that, but they only call me in like when there's nobody else wants to do anything. I'm like a temp.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You might know. I have a bunch of buddies, but Darren Millard. Do you know Darren at all?
I know the name.
He's on our podcast as well. He works for the Golden Knights now, but he was with the NHL forever. Anyways, yeah. So how did you pitch it while you were working at the NHL, or how did you pitch this going behind, like, because of Toronto, I'm surprised they let you behind there.
Yeah, no, totally. That's exactly right. I'm always the guy they hire after they fire the other guy. I have been a traditional reality television guy. Like Obi said, I did Duck Dynasty and Millionaire Matchmaker and Biggest Loser. And like, I worked on like just straight up reality shows. And then there was a director before me that was in with the Leafs, and one of the things he said, Ian, you're going to get a kick out of this. Obi, you're going to have no idea what the hell this means. Was he asked Austin Matthews to tell him about the Toronto Maple Leaf pajamas that he wore as a kid,
Oh my God.
and Austin Matthews was like, "Those were sheets," and it was John Tavares. And like the guys who like the guy who was directing it was like working on Hard Knocks on HBO, and he was probably like a good football guy, but he had
Yeah.
Austin Matthews and Zach Hyman under the Toronto skyline walking their dogs, and he never asked them a single question. So the Amazon execs just like threw a shit fit, and they were like, "We gotta." He was like ranting and raving and saying, "I almost have to find like because nothing was the Leafs are so closed off, and they weren't saying a word because they're like shitty hockey players that they were like, we almost need to find like a rabble-rousing bull in a china shop reality television producer to go in there and like just start causing some trouble." And then my buddy Frank at Amazon was like, I know, they're like, we need to find a huge hockey fan reality producer. And that's probably not too many people in the world. And
Yeah.
and then literally on a Friday night, my buddy Frank was like, they want to talk to you. And I thought it was a prank. I swear to God, I thought it was a prank. And on Saturday morning, I was talking to the NHL, and on Sunday, I was on a plane.
That's great. And you must come on. You had some butterflies inside. That must have been exciting for you because Robert did tell me that you are a Leafs fan.
A huge
So,
Montreal Canadiens fan you ever met in your life, bud.
oh, really? So somebody lied to me instantly. So you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, and you
Biggest
get
look,
behind,
look,
and
there's
you get behind.
there's my
You
Habs
get,
pillow right there.
I love it. I like, and you get behind the sheet at the fucking at the Maple Leafs. Oh my God, you could have just done so much. You could have just erased all their cups.
They, I think I tried to play it honest and open with them, and I like, it's like any group of 50 people. You're gonna love some people, and you're gonna hate some people, and
Right.
the people are gonna be in the mushy middle. And but they were paranoid about that. I was fully like I'm Amazon's hire, but they were paranoid about the fact that I was a Habs fan.
So they did ask you, huh? They're like, who do you like? And you're like, yeah,
No, I
that's
was
awesome.
very upfront about it because I knew it was going to come out, and it's literally like sending a Yankees fan in to do a Red Sox doc. It's like they knew it.
I love it. I love it. I
That's
love it.
awesome, man. That's
That's
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I want. There's two things that I got to make sure we talk about. One is what you're working on right now because it looks really interesting. And before we get to that, since you're the reality guy, you're our guy. I want to know, how do you feel about the biggest reality show right now that I'm forced to watch, Love Island? What do you think about that?
I
Oh
do
my
not
God.
watch it. I do not watch it. I cannot. I cannot comment on it because I think like I used to do dating shows. I did Dating Naked, and I did Married at First Sight, and I'm just sort of, I don't know. I'm just kind of burnt out on it, I guess.
You guys should switch places. One of you, the other one should be in West Hollywood because that was
I'd
the
be the
most.
mayor of West Hollywood, bro. I
Oh
would. I
yeah.
love being in West Hollywood.
You would be a statue. You'd be a giant statue of a bear in West Hollywood.
They feed me grapes. I thought about moving to West Hollywood just because of how welcome I was there. I feel so good there. You never feel pretty walking around Idaho, but if I take 2 blocks through West Hollywood, my confidence is so high. It's so
See
good.
see how I got him off the idea of talking about Love Island? Let's talk about hockey again.
Yeah, I feel, it's funny. I feel very out of touch there because I know that Love Island is the thing that everybody's talking about, but I just like, I don't know. I can't.
Been around for a long time. What do you feel about like the whole scope of reality? Like right now, I mean, in my opinion, it kind of seems like it's all recycled. It doesn't seem like there's new stuff. Is there new stuff? Maybe I'm completely off. What do you feel about like the scope of reality on today?
I don't want my lasting impression on this television show to be like negative. It's crazy right now. It's been such a disaster. It's like, I don't know if you know this, but like, the show, The Floor on Fox?
Mhm.
Yeah. Floor's lava.
Yeah, no, it's just called The Floor. It's like
That's it, right?
Rob Lowe, there's like 100 squares, and there's 100 contestants, and they have to take over each other's squares until there's one person that owns all the squares.
Mhm.
Nah, go for it though.
It's a big game show on Fox. It is cheaper for them to fly 100 Americans to Ireland, put them up in hotels, give them per diems, than it would be to take them over to the Grove.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, I'm just like, you're right. There's a lot of legacy reality shows that still exist. You know, The Bachelor and Survivor isn't going anywhere, and Love Island, but it's been a grind in terms of like, it's just hard to, it dovetails very nicely into the American, Obi, because I'm, as far as I know, pitching the only reality television show outside of the Real Housewives franchises that by definition have to be shot in America.
Yeah. And it seemed really interesting. I looked at the notes about it. You can go over in more detail. It's about people trying to get citizenship here.
I have to be honest. I have to put something out there right now. I've pitched something kind of like that too. Can I just put it out there real quick?
Yeah.
But it's about me. I'm green carded, but I'm not citizenship. And it's about me and my Asian friend taking classes all over America on becoming American, and people thinking that he's the one becoming American the whole time, even though he's American.
Yeah.
Just want to put it out there.
That's funny. It sounds more scripted.
It's similar. It's funny that you say that because I'm, you know, a white straight man, and so nobody thinks if I don't tell Canadian that I'm Canadian. But I went through hell. I really did go through hell to immigrate to this country, and it took years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And it's amazing to me that it has been I've been vilified. I've been like destroyed. I'm like public enemy number one in America because a lot of people think it's in horribly poor taste, but they don't understand what the show is. People, it went out, somebody at DHS who was a holdover from the Biden administration leaked my pitch from the Department of Homeland Security, the Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail immediately positioned it as the Hunger Games for immigrants, as if I'm taking Somalian refugees and saying, giving them a sword and saying, kill the Venezuelan guy and you'll get closer to citizenship. Obviously, I like that one. Americans are not, they hear the word immigrant and they immediately think about refugees or people in distress or people who are seeking political asylum. And that's not at all what I was talking about. I am talking about people that are in the system who had to wait years. And the real process has 20 million people a year competing for a green card in a lottery. If you pay $1 million and invest in America, you get a green card. It's long before Donald Trump's $5 million thing. That's always been the case. There's a thing for $5,000 called, or $3,800 called premium processing that puts you to the front of the line. Somebody from the Wall Street Journal was like, aren't you trivializing the American immigration process? I'm like, buddy, do you know that the American immigration process actually involves trivia at the end of it?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And so a lot of people have like, I don't know why really. I guess it's because of the climate that we're in, which is why I think it's the time to do this show, because Americans, you know who it's really for? It's really for people born in this country who have no idea what is good about America anymore. You know what the greatest, let me ask you a question. Obi, you're literally known as the American monster. You are as American gets. Tell me what the greatest thing about America is.
The greatest thing? Oh, I know. That's opinion, you know?
I know.
I'll tell you one thing that's not. You ready? The mail.
Yeah, obviously the mail's had a lot of issues and stuff for especially the last 10 years. It's been bankrupt twice that I remember.
There's nowhere on the planet, nowhere in the world that does mail like the United States does mail. And Americans could never know that because they've never experienced it. In Canada, I would try to mail a letter from Montreal to Ian in British Columbia. That thing would take 2 weeks to get there. In America, it takes 2 days.
Huh.
Free refill.
Saying like our mail is better.
No, the mail here is
amazing. American mail is amazing, and nothing ever gets lost in the mail. It's an expression we use, but nothing ever gets lost in the mail.
You get it on Saturdays here. Nowhere else in the world you get it on Saturdays.
Right, yeah. Saturdays in the mail.
I don't know if that's the best thing, but it's a good thing.
Free refills.
Free refills.
The idea that
I think the illusion of choice is our best thing right now. At least we're still under the illusion that we have choices.
Yeah, I'll tell you just one last thing. Remember when I'm old enough that when I went to the video store to rent Lethal Weapon as a kid, they had one copy at the video store, and it was out. It was always out. And if you wanted to get it, they'd put your name on a waiting list. They'd call you on a Tuesday and say it's back in. And you're like, well, I don't fucking want it on a Tuesday. And that was it. One guy came along and said, I'm going to buy 100,000 copies of Lethal Weapon. I'm going to let people take it out and keep it for as long as they want and return it whenever they want. And that guy was Wayne Huizenga, who bought the Florida Panthers and the Florida Marlins and became a multi-billionaire. That's American. That is only American. There's no other country in the world where that thinking, at least initially, was that. That's what makes America, dare I say, great.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I honestly, back to what you're saying, I think, like you're saying, it is the perfect time to put something out that shows people the process of becoming a citizen. Whenever there's anything going on, we should have people talking about Iran right now. We should have people talking about Israel. Like, we should all be collecting as much information as possible on this stuff. Whenever stuff's going on, we tend to like bury our heads and agree with the people that we were closest to before there was a split or whatever.
I don't think it's that. I think it's as easy as showing how great the mail system is, and going to a different. But if you said, hey, here's America's mail, and then you went to Zimbabwe and showed them their mail, like you've kind of turned everybody into a softie by thinking, oh, my mail was late by a day. I had to wait. Monday was a holiday, so they didn't give me any mail until Tuesday. Like that kind of thing. I think you need to show them they want to make America great, but it really is already, right?
Yeah.
It really is. It's fantastic. You may not get your own way, but fuck, that's life, man.
No, that's the thing. It's like when I go to England, the pillow's a little thin, the Coca-Cola's a little warm, the eggs are a little gray. The women are beautiful, but they have a weird tooth. Like,
gets caught on my foreskin.
Yeah, gets caught on your foreskin. America's pretty good. And like, I think that America needs a reminder of that right now more than it's ever been. And
I'd vote for you.
And I don't know, I got destroyed. I literally got destroyed.
I knew putting you two together was dangerous.
I'm like public enemy number one.
I think it's just because of it's the whole, like, what do they call the title of the news article? The headline. It's people reading headlines. So if fucking Shapiro comes out and says that you're basically doing the what do they call it? The
Squid Games, Hunger Games,
Hunger Games of international like diplomacy. Like, it's going to be nobody's going to read the article. Everyone's going to agree with him that already agrees with him, and then now 3/4 of his followers think that that's who you are permanently. So it's those kind of people aren't going to see it anyways. But
I'm more mad at you about
think it's a good
Dynasty.
idea just to tell people, because like people like me, like I have no idea how hard it is to study for years for someone who comes from Canada, an English and French speaking country. You're educated, you came here to work. For it to be that insane, it's surprising to me.
Yeah, it's harder than people think. And it takes a long time. And all I was trying to do was say, like, let's give one person the front of the line pass. And that doesn't mean, by the way, the little wink wink was that I was going to offer everybody free premium processing for being on the show anyway. Like, wherever you started, you weren't going backwards. You were only going to go forward. So, like, I don't know. We'll see. It's not dead yet, but I thought, and it was meant to be in good fun, right? Like to do an IRS challenge where you actually have the actual IRS, these like stiff, awful people. And like, we're doing some funny math, big, grandiose math challenge or something to try to help us collectively cheat on our taxes as a challenge and like, celebrate that. I don't know. It seemed like a no-brainer to me.
I think it's cool. I think it is. What's it like when you go in an office? When you're in an office, both sides of it. When you're in an office and you got an idea they love, and when you're in an office and they hate the idea and you're trying to talk them into it.
Well, it's all Zoom now. I think part of my problem is that I don't get to go into the office as much anymore. Like now, I feel like in the room, it's way better to understand somebody's energy and to communicate properly. And so I don't know. I once sold a CBS pilot, and it was as if when I pitched it, it was in real life, and it was like as if I shat on the table. Like the energy in that room was so bad. They were just staring at me like I was like an abject idiot. And I walked out and I was like, well, fuck that. And then they bought the pilot.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. You can't tell. And then I'm doing this curling show with all the world's greatest Olympians. And I pitched it to the NBC Olympics last week, and they were all about it. They were like, "This is amazing. How much?" They wanted to know everything about it. I had every notable gold and silver medal curlist in the world ahead of the Olympics, and they were like all about it. And they've just ghosted me for the past week. I've just been
I
ghosted.
love when they ghost you. I love
Hollywood
it.
communication, man. That drives me nuts.
I got a section for you. I was here a very long time on an O1 visa. And I had to renew it. This is many years ago. And I had a lawyer for a while, and the lawyer just got lazy all of a sudden. He spelled my name wrong. He said I was a scientist, and he forgot to put in the paper of the people that were sponsoring me. He sent it in, and it looked like I was sponsoring myself. So I got a letter saying you're being deported, be out by this day. Fly yourself home to Vancouver. It was 2010 because I went to the Olympics, got really drunk. And send us a photocopy of your ticket after you've like gone through, right? So I had to do all that. I always thought being deported was they came over, got me, took me, gave me a free flight home. But the real part is immigration lawyers are horrible, and we have to pay for them. They are not state by state, they're federal. So you can have the lowest score ever and go to the biggest state and be an immigration lawyer there, no problems. And I found so many problems with immigration lawyers because they are the worst of the worst lawyers. So, anyways,
Never met a divorce lawyer though.
Yeah, but you also can do a lot of that stuff you can do on your own.
I've done a lot of it on my own, but at the same time, when you're coming in and you're trying to get things done, no, you can't.
It's terrible, and it's so expensive, and it's like I literally shudder to think about, like, I was once in a line and there was like an 8-year-old girl from Mexico who was in line alone, and she was sponsoring her parents, but her parents weren't allowed to be in the area of the line where we were. So we were downtown LA, and there was this scared little girl standing behind me, and I was like trying to help her figure out where to go and what to do. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
People have no idea, and like you're right. These guys, these lawyers are all scammers. I spent tons of money early on like, I just imagine there was one time, I just want to tell you real quick, where I went to USCIS, and like I waited there all day. You couldn't use your cell phone, you couldn't use your computer, you couldn't eat, you couldn't drink in that room. And then after like hours, they were like bop bop bop. That was like how they said my name, and I was like, I think that's me, just based on the syllables. And I went to the window, and I had a green card stamp, and I needed an extension because my green card was expiring in my passport, and I was waiting for my permanent green card. So she moved the date field by 1 day instead of by 1 year, and she stamped my passport with 1 day of an extension. And I was like, "Yo, I don't think that's right." And and she sort of laughed, and she said, "Ha ha!" And she took whiteout liquid paper, put it on my passport, and I was like, "Are you supposed to be putting whiteout on my passport?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's how we do it." And then for the next year, I got called into secondary questioning every time I came into the country. But I had enough sort of wherewithal at the time. At least I had the correct stamp.
Right.
And I was like, what if I'm a 72-year-old Indian woman? Like, if I don't understand what's going on, how the hell do they do that? I don't even know how the hell they navigate that system.
Not even that. What if the guy's the same age and just doesn't have the confidence that you have?
That too.
That's all. It doesn't have to be older or younger. It's just you're in a scary situation. And if you're not just like a bull in a china shop and you could have not said anything and had just an extra day, that I'm sure people walked away with that.
Exactly. But the language issue and you're right. It's like the cultural issues, like you're scared, and like, I don't know how people do it. Seriously. I just wanted to make a show that sort of explains that explains to Americans how lucky they have it, how good they have it, through the eyes of the people who most want it and are going through it.
I've been recording because I'm getting my citizenship. I've been recording, doing the questions. There's 100 questions that are asked. So I've been recording them, and I'm going to put them out on YouTube as me helping people get through, because I've been asking myself the questions.
That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. So because
do you know the three enemies in World War II?
The three enemies in World War II. Yeah.
What do we have? Germany, Russia, Japan.
Nope.
Italy, Germany,
Japan.
And Russia was one of my out, right?
That was one of my questions. I'll give you another one.
Is it Italy, Germany, and Japan now?
Yeah, Italy, Germany.
Now, did you say now? Is it now?
Italy,
Have they
Germany.
changed-
Though.
They also had
American, get out of here. Canadians are talking.
who does the Constitution protect?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was going to say citizens, but it's everyone, right? That's what's the big fight is right now.
The thing all the rednecks will tell you if you come to our meetings, when the fire's really hot and the hoods are, taking off, they'll explain to you that, it's God is giving you these rights. The paper says that God is giving you these rights. It's not the country. These rights are telling the government what they're not allowed to do. They're not giving rights to the citizens. They're explaining that we were born with them. Inalienable. At least that's what they held me.
No, that's totally exactly right.
Yeah.
I asked my guy one question. What A-list Hollywood actress is one of the direct descendants of the signers of the Declaration of Independence?
Tell me.
Reese Witherspoon. John Witherspoon's great. John Witherspoon's like the second name on the Declaration, I think.
Oh, crazy.
Did they kill him with a knife? No, with a spoon.
With a spoon.
Hey.
That's that old Robin Hood quote. I'll tell your heart out with a spoon.
I've been dating a very beautiful, very nice girl from Russia. And about a week ago. In America. And about a week ago, we were in the car. And I said, come in. And she said, no, I'm tired. I said, come in. We're going to make like Vladimir. She looked at me. She goes, why like Vladimir? I go, because Vladimir Putin.
I didn't know where I was going to go. I was like, oh my God, is it going to be Ukraine? I'm going to take some parts that you don't want me to take.
Wow.
Rob was actually, when we were on the road a lot, we would get in these funks where we're filming like 10 days, 14 days in one spot, and day 6, 7 we're all sick of each other and everything, and Rob would show up with this like it was either like a quiz or like a limerick or something that we had to figure out, and it literally would bring us all back together because none of us knew the answer. So we'd be like friendly, trying to figure stuff out. That Rob was always good at coming up with that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Rob, you've got some good tricks. Rob actually saw me in my one truly Hollywood moment I had. We were in West Virginia. Do you remember, Rob?
I've seen you in a few Hollywood moments, by the way. I was with you in West Hollywood, and a lot of people recognized you.
No, I mean when I acted like a douchebag.
Oh, okay.
In West Virginia. We were in Virginia, and it was 110, humid as hell, and we're out on this like big grass hill, and we were shooting off cannons and doing all this stuff. And so I'm exhausted. I'm starving. I'm 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from competing at World's Strongest Man. So like I'm an animal at this point. And so we're sitting down with this little teepee thing overhead, and these 4 people come up to move the teepee thing. And they make this big deal about being scared about me being under it and they're going to hit me or whatever. And I'm like, it's literally 4 posts. Just walk. So they all separate. They go tell Rob to come nicely ask me to move because they were scared of me being under there. And so Rob comes over kindly. He goes, could you move, buddy? They're going to move this. And I get up and I'm like, motherfucker. I'm cussing. They're like older set people that live in Virginia that, they do World War II reenactments and stuff for fun. And I'm cussing and screaming. I'm like, these motherfuckers are, I don't even, and then Rob just goes, Hollywood, as he walks off.
That's awesome.
It's funny. Like, I can tell you that I loved the Robertsons from Duck Dynasty, but I worked with Danny Bonaducci. I worked with Patty Stanger from Millionaire Matchmaker. These are the worst people. Like, these are very difficult. I've worked with some very difficult people. Like the 4 strongest men in the world were the greatest guys ever. Like I think everybody had a freak out at some point, but like by comparison,
everybody freaks out at some point. Like, no, it doesn't matter what you're doing,
exactly.
right?
I felt bad. I did, because they were old too.
How about
really uncomfortable?
As a director, have you ever had any meltdowns?
Not on set. Oh, that's not true, actually. She's really my good friend now. Ashley Page, I did Ashley Page's show. It was really early. It was like '08, and I fought with her like crazy. But now we're like besties. Like she's one of my, like I'm really close with her. But we laugh about it. But I think the only freakouts I've ever had are at the network, which is not smart, by the way. I'm not trying to pretend that that's a smart thing. It's probably hurt me more than anything else. Like I generally have gotten along pretty well
So
with
Canadian.
the cast.
Well, with us on our show, we were always on the road. We were in Scotland or Wyoming or England or whatever. And he was never like combative with us, but we would always hear him trying to get, like, we have ideas or whatever, and he'd always be fighting to get them for you and stuff. So for us, it kind of like, I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel more uncomfortable than earlier, but you always felt like one of the boys. Like it was like he was on our side trying to get us to do what we wanted.
Thank you. That's important to me, both cast and crew. But I think that I've failed over and over again where networks are concerned of being like, "What are you talking about? How could no?"
But that's very Canadian. What is there? Is there somebody that's going to be the biggest roadblock that's going to affect me more than anything? I better go after them. That's what you do. That's a Canadian thing. It doesn't matter.
It's not
He
smart.
drinks like a Canadian too, man. This guy can put him down. Remember, we were in Newfoundland. Where was it? Newfoundland? Where were we in Canada? Is it Newfoundland?
No, Nova Scotia, maybe Sydney.
Nova Scotia, and we were hanging out with a couple of the Trailer Park Boys, the producers over there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm 400 pounds, and my dad was a biker. I grew up around drugs and alcohol. I think I can handle myself very well, but Rob puts me under the freaking table. He's like half my weight.
I quit.
Very slick.
You quit. When did you quit?
28 months ago.
That's why you're looking all skinny and jacked.
No drinking, no Russian women. Smoking, but I love it. I miss it. I don't recommend it. I want to drink again.
Did you did you put yourself? I don't. You can tell me you don't want to talk about this, but did you put yourself in a program or did you just stop?
Cold turkey.
No way.
Drugs, cigarettes, and alcohol on the same day.
What?
How did you not make a reality show about that?
I just think
yourself.
Everybody who drinks gets Alzheimer's.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like,
cigarettes and drugs are great.
Yeah.
That's smart. No,
my bad.
No, it's not my. No, it's, by the way, I could drink drink like a king. I love drinking. I still miss drinking. I like when other people drink and do drugs and smoke around me now, but I miss it. I don't recommend it. It sucks, but I needed to do it because I needed a new act, kind of like,
That makes sense.
I went to Barney's Pizza and I was like the oldest guy in the bar, and then I was like, "Ooh, this is really creepy." So I went up like the hill to Sunset Marquee, and I was the youngest guy in the bar, and I was like, "Ooh, in both cases, these are really depressing." Like, I don't want those people ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rob took me on a little tour by his place, and right down the street from where Rob stays or used to stay is a really famous bar where Janis Joplin used to go all the time. Jim Morrison jumped up on the bar and pissed on the table and all that stuff. And like, those are my favorite artists. So he actually took me there. What was the other hotel? We went to the bottom, the like basement, like where all the people drink quietly. It's like one of these hotels.
That might have been the Sunset Marquee. The first one was Barney's. That's where Janis Joplin died, or like had her last meal and then stumbled out and died.
Right.
And supposedly it's where Quentin Tarantino wrote Pulp Fiction, by the way. That's the new one.
Really? That's interesting.
Table there that they've marked, but I guess maybe. And then yeah, I think we went to the Sunset Marquee, or did we go to the Tower Bar at the Sunset Tower?
I think we went to the Sunset Marquee. Yeah. It's always fun, man, like checking that stuff out. Like you like old Hollywood the way I like old Hollywood, and I love those legendary tales of like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix. Jim Morrison was a psychopath and probably someone you wouldn't want to be friends with, but looking back, he's such a rock god, So I loved all that stuff. It was always fun.
Best.
You probably know a friend of mine that lives quite close to you. Then Earl Skakel. Do you know Earl Skakel? He's a Kennedy, but he's a hockey fan, and he owns 500 game worn jerseys that have blood on them. So
no way.
Yeah.
And he lives here?
Yeah, right around you.
I tried to do a thing with RFK Jr. last year, and his son is nuts.
I want to hear about
Really?
it because you've only told me a
Shocking.
little bit.
I tried to do Drive to Survive for politics. Like I wanted to do embedded within all the political. I spent a week on Vivek Ramaswamy's bus, and
Wow.
yeah, and
Wow.
just with my own camera, and
The toothpaste must have been flying on that place.
it was interesting, and I learned a lot. You know what I learned most about it all? That like I would like we'd go, Pizza Ranch is the key to all of American politics, by the way. There's a chain called Pizza Ranch, and they have these little pizza places all around Iowa, and they make themselves available to any candidate who wants to have a group meeting there because I guess that'll help them sell pizza. And so we would like go to like 6 or 7 pizza ranches around Iowa per day. And so you'd fly all the way to the other end of the state and make your way back on a bus to like Des Moines. So so like after like 3 or 4 pizza ranches, I didn't need to go to like the 5th pizza ranch. So I'd like hop a ride back with whoever was going back to Des Moines. And I started to realize like, oh shit, I had it all wrong. You always think of like these like people who like are like down for the cause, but they're not. Like if they don't get hired on Ron DeSantis's campaign, then they're like, oh shit, I got to go over to Nikki Haley. And if you don't get hired on Nikki Haley, it's like, oh shit, I got to go over to Vivek. And it's like it's just like television. It's like they're not Hillary Clinton people or AOC people. They're just production people that are like just getting on whatever campaign will hire them. So you have this perception of American politics as being this like very red or very blue thing. But I'm like, oh, right, of course. Imagine if you didn't get staffed on The Bachelor, so you went to go work on America's Got Talent instead. But by doing that, everyone in America hated you. Not because you were on The Bachelor, but because you were on America's Got Talent. Like it just ended up being this weird thing where I realized like it was with all these like people who were like the equivalent of like production managers, like dealing with budgets and like campaign speechwriters who were like the equivalent of like writers. Like it was just like that. And it totally changed my view of like American politics of like, of course that's what it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That's crazy. You know what? It seems very obvious as you say it, but it wouldn't have been obvious to me before that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same. I was like sitting there, I was like, I'm an idiot. Like the second I saw that, I was like, I have no idea. Like you have no idea what you're talking about, you know? Like I did. That's all it
Wow.
is.
I'm going through that right now because, like, you think about that, you think, like, yeah, it's some kid who's all for this cause. But no, it's like it's an adult who that's their job is to do production or writing or whatever, and they'll go where the work is. You know, it's so silly. I never clicked that either.
Right. And a lot of those institutions, like even at DHS, I've been working with the Department of Homeland Security, and it's like, well, of course, they didn't just staff all of the DHS under Donald Trump. It's like there's people that were there under Obama and under Biden and under Clinton and under first Bush or second Bush, rather. Like it's just a bunch of people that are working on jobs. They're not going to just quit their jobs. These guys have like, they're 2 years away from, I'm 2 years away from my pension. Like they're not partisan.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're still out there looking for WMAs in Baghdad.
Right. They're just people.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Funny.
That's a good thing to note too.
It's also like the NHL. You go from team to team to team.
All of them. Somebody on the
Right.
Maple Leafs will happily join the Canucks.
Absolutely.
Even the league people are like, oh, I really want to be at the NFL, but I'm doing this NHL thing so that I can get to the NFL. Like, and then there's like hardcore hockey guys that love hockey, would never go to the NBA if you paid me twice as much. Like, it's all just people.
That's what you want, though, is the hardcore hockey guys. You want the hardcore people for your sport. That's where we've lost our way. You know, like you will take other stuff because you couldn't get what you wanted, right? So instead of refocusing yourself and finding something different completely, maybe I will play for the Charleston Banana baseball team and travel around pretending that, you know, I play
There's
baseball
an
on
Oberst
stilts.
on the Bananas. Don't besmirch the Bananas.
But I think that's a problem with Hollywood too. Like I was like the proverbial fat kid after school making mac and cheese or eating ice cream and watching TV.
Husky
Husky boy.
Not
But
fat.
I was obsessed
Not
with
fat.
TV. I loved TV. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
didn't 90% of the people in the TV industry don't either like
I want to be in movies.
they wanted to be in movies, but also they wanted to be executives. Like they didn't want, like they're not even, or they're just like looking for something to do. Like they weren't the husky kid who just was like loving Cheers and like the Flintstones and wants to make TV. Like it's not, it doesn't exist in our industry. It's like you're way better off pitching another cupcake competition because they can. Well, we have two cupcake competitions and they're successful, so why not try a third? It's like what?
Yeah.
What's the best Canadian TV show of all times?
Trailer Park Boys.
Besides Hockey
No.
Night in Canada?
What's that?
Besides Hockey Night in Canada?
Yeah, besides Hockey Night. Yeah. Yeah.
The best Canadian television show of all time, Beachcombers? No.
Beachcomber's pretty good.
I'm gonna go with the best Canadian television show of all time. Shit, that's a tough one. There's so many. Card Sharks.
Oh, interesting. That's a good call.
Was it the one, there's the one, what's the one with the words? Can I get a letter under X? Can I get a letter under Y?
What's you know what all the prizes were the same though. You would always get a lease of a geo tracker. You wouldn't even win a car. You'd get a lease for 2 years.
You guys talking about some bootleg Jeopardy?
Jeopardy you could argue is Canadian because Alex is Canadian.
Alex is dead.
Alex is dead. I fought with him.
Rest in peace.
I did have a fight with him.
Really?
On ice? On
Oh,
ice?
tell us.
Can I tell you this?
With Alex Trebek?
I didn't have a fight with him, but I'm a huge Jeopardy purist. So here's the thing about Jeopardy that nobody knows. Just real quick.
Take your time.
Until 2003, you could only win 5 in a row. You couldn't go past 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Until 2007, they didn't lock you out if Alex was still asking the question. So there was only a time between 2003 and 2007 that you could A, win more than 5 episodes, and B, didn't get locked out by interrupting his question. Ken Jennings won 74 episodes in a row during that time. 72 or 74, I forget. It's one of those. And nobody else has come anywhere close to that, like 30 something, 29, something like that. Because he was in this unique position of being able to buzz in first, but also you could stay on as long as you want. So when I went to Jeopardy, I raised my hand and he was like, anybody have any questions? And I was like, what? Now they make you wait until Alex has totally done the question before you can buzz in. And if you do it even 1 nanosecond before, they lock you out for like 1 or 2 seconds. So I said to him, well, what determines when it's the exact frame that I'm allowed to buzz in? Like, is that on an electronic sensor that sort of recognizes your voice and the second you're done speaking, then I can click? And he said, no, it's a human. And I was like, what do you mean it's a human? He's like, one of our producers unlocks the button. I'm like, well, what if the producer unlocks the button 10 frames past Alex is saying the question? And he sort of like, he got a little huffy. He's like, well, that's how we do it. Like he got annoyed by my.
Really? He was
Don't
upset.
ask productive questions.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, since we're in this vein, and I know you've got a bajillion stories, can you give us one of your crazy production? Like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be somebody we know. You don't have to use names, but I've heard a billion of these stories, and I'm hoping you could just share one of your production stories.
Like with someone famous?
No, you don't even have to say names. You can say whatever you want.
I have so many, but I don't know what I'm going to get in trouble for.
I've heard. Don't say the name.
Like the worst humans I've ever. Like I'm trying to understand. You want me to tell you a story about a time where somebody did something awful?
Whatever you feel.
Like I was hosting when I was producing the NHL awards once, and we had the host of the show basically walk out on us halfway through the show because he didn't like the private jet we sent to Vegas.
I agree.
He was a horrible person.
That's
Oh, maybe not.
That's easy,
Maybe-
though. I mean,
After hearing
that
that story, maybe he wasn't that bad of a person.
If not, I went to India and I hunted cobras with the Arula tribe in the southern tip of India, and they were taking rats and putting them in pillowcases and whacking the rats on the ground, thereby killing them, and then roasting them on a fire like corn on the cob and eating the rats.
Wow. What it
That
tastes
is,
And it was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't eat it. And I was
you
like,
want to know why? You want to know how he lost all the weight?
yeah, yeah.
Ate one of those rats.
We were like, we were doing it for CBS, and we found this production company out of Chennai, but then CBS was like, they're not insured with us, so we had to go get a company out of Mumbai, and we got the company out of Mumbai, and they sent us the budget breakdown, and the audio guy was like $27 a day or $72 for the whole outfit, like 3 audio people. I was like, why do we need 3 audio people? But it was $72 for the whole day, and we were like, I don't even understand. They must not understand what we want, because an audio guy's like, between $900 and $1,100 a day, $400 or $500 for the guy, $400 or $500 for the gear. And I was like, this isn't right. So we called them up, and they were like, yes, sir, no problem. We understand. We know what you want. We want to. So we get there, and I'm like, why is there 3 audio guys? Like, we only need 1 audio guy. So we get out of the back of the truck, and there were these 2 kids that had this massive board, like a mixer board, like the 70s, like it's out of a record studio.
Carrying it.
It's like, we're running through the jungle like hunting snakes, so we can't I wanted like a mixer. Like, they're like, yes, sir, no problem. He will carry the table. So these kids just ran around all day after us, like while we were in the jungle. There were just 2 kids from India just running around with this massive table. At the end of the day, I looked at Wendell, Obi, Wendell, and I was like, we got to get rid of these guys. And they wouldn't turn over the cards. So they were like, we need our $72. Like, they wanted their $72 right there to turn over the cards. And I was in the middle of rural India. So we were like, we spent 2 hours driving around to get bank machine, whatever, because the max they would give you was $30. So I had to go to 3 machines, and each one was like 20 miles apart.
With them recording the sound of the whole time.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I love it. I love it. So you love making TV, right?
I love making TV.
And you somehow you've done mostly reality TV, right? And I'm not putting like besmirching it and wherever that word is.
Besmirching. The real thing is, there's no such thing as reality television. Let me tell you why real quick. It'll take 30 seconds or less. Duck Dynasty, which I wrote, was a sitcom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a full-on sitcom. And Kardashian
Right.
is a sitcom, if you think about it. The Bachelor, Biggest Loser. I worked on Biggest Loser. Those are game shows. The only thing that makes that not a game show is that they're shooting it in the real world, not in the studio, right? Literally, other than that, it's a game show.
Yeah.
It's
On Ice Road Truckers and on Deadliest Catch, actual people die. So now the problem is, you would call all 3 of those shows a reality show, but they're not anything like each other at all. So it's like, it's a weird thing, because what you call unscripted, of course, is never unscripted. And there are usually formats, and there's usually VO copy. Like, I don't consider anything I've ever made. I say reality shows to help normies and civilians understand what I do, but it's not there's no such thing. I mean, and now I've been making sports docs. So, and I just finished writing a sitcom. I'm dying to tell you what it's about, but I can't. And it's Canadian, so it's a scripted comedy. So we'll see.
When we stop recording, I want to hear.
No, my thing is what you just said about reality. Like, reality is a very big umbrella, and I love it, because I like unscripted. I like very loosely scripted when I work. I love that's what I like, right? So I've always been a fan of the loosely scripted stuff. And when you say Duck Dynasty and the Kardashians and stuff like that, it's a sitcom, which it really is. It's really, they're really funny. They're so when you let people be themselves sometimes with a touch of scripted, I think it makes better TV, right?
Well, Obi was literally the greatest I've ever. I'm not just saying this. Obi is the funniest person I've ever on set. I have never laughed as hard as working with Obi. I have never known anybody to be that clever. He's every bit as funny as the Robertsons. The Robertsons were elite, because the Robertsons had done hundreds of thousands of hours of duck hunting videos before we got to them, and infomercial. They were just hysterical people. Obi's like that. And all of it ended up on the cutting, not all of it, but most of it ended up on the cutting room floor. Like the shit we shot on that History Channel show, there was a bagpipe lesson in Scotland with him and Brian Shaw, and I have never laughed harder. I don't think in my entire life of watching those two
That was a ton of fun.
riff on this little Scottish lady trying to teach them the bagpipes, and they cut it all. They just didn't let me put a single frame of it in there.
That's kind of what I was talking about earlier about you fighting for the guys. You know, it was that there was a bathroom scene where Eddie was showering and I came in to go poop, stuff like that. It was always really funny stuff and everything. You know, it was always good. I do want to say too, like to your point, when you watch, it's been a long time, but when you watch Duck Dynasty, you can see that it's episodic. Like it's maybe not
absolutely
fully scripted, but like a producer came in and said, this is what we're doing today, guys. This is the challenge. We're going to get these people involved. You can tell the hand that you had in it. And it's almost like watching, you know, like Family Ties or whatever. It's almost like watching an actual show. You just give them the leash of their speech.
Yeah. It wasn't duck hunting season. When they first came to me, I was like, the first call with Willie and Corey, I was like, so you guys are in the blind, you're shooting at ducks, and they're like, it was April of 2011. And they were like, no, buddy, duck hunting season's not till like October, November, December around here. And I was like,
buddy, cool your jets. You're going to get us some tickets.
I got off the phone. I was like, how the hell do I make a duck hunting show where you literally they said you can't even touch ducks in the wild. Like you're not even allowed. And I didn't know any of that. I was like, I don't know how to
now.
Yeah.
Do you know what the biggest detriment to society reality TV has had?
Are you going to say Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, or
Nope. It's not anything like that, and people skip over it all the time.
What is it?
It's speakerphone in public. That is all for reality TV, because in order to get conversations, you had to use the speakerphone. And there's a generation that thinks that's how you use a phone.
I get that. Sometimes now, though, I'm old and I'm worried about the brain waves. So now, not in public around like at a grocery store, but I try and talk over here, you know?
I love that. I love the guy that just let out a big puff of smoke from the vape. Sometimes I'm worried about the brain.
Ian, what's your best Canada show?
My best Canada show? It's gotta be SCTV.
Yeah, but was second? Oh yeah, of course it was SCTV, because it refers to Chicago, but it also is I guess that one was all Toronto.
It was filmed in Edmonton, so
yeah. That was incredible. But it's a little before my time. I remember the sunglasses coming off.
Right.
Labatt 50 commercials.
Yeah. Say there's so many good ones. It's fantastic. Also, Littlest Hobo. Do you remember that one?
Best. But it's really annoying when you play the Littlest Hobo theme song, which of course is so iconic and part of Canadian fabric. It's not the song. It's the same song. It's the publishing rights, but it's not the same artist's rendition. The artist refused to give up the rights. So when you listen to the Littlest Hobo theme, it's not the one that aired on the TV.
Really?
It's like, it's the same song with the same people, but I think they re-recorded it. They wouldn't give up the artist rights to the original recording, and the original is so much better.
You're fantastic. I could do another hour of this, but we have to. Would you come back at some point and talk to us more about TV and hockey? I need to talk to you more about that Maple Leaf show.
Oh, buddy, if you only saw what I had on tape, talk about things that let me air.
Oh, I love it. So my buddies work for the Winnipeg Jets, and last time they were in town, we went, seen them, then we went back and we went downstairs to see them afterwards. And my mother-in-law was with me, and she was just standing at the right spot where she just got all the guys coming out of the showers.
Wow.
It was fantastic. Her face was like, so I called her a dong watcher the rest of the trip. She was out visiting us.
In college, we used to like the freshmen would come in and one of the seniors would like put up his leg on the bench and stand there and wait for somebody to catch a glimpse. Then in class around school, we call them PW, penis watchers. In front of like they'd be talking to a girl, be like, "Don't talk to that guy. He's a PW in the locker room."
He's a PW.
My friend Gabby and I went to the Anaheim Ducks game against the Montreal Canadiens, and when we were sitting there, Gabby gets on Raya, and one of the Habs players had made himself available. So well, I don't want to give it away, but she texted him during the game and was like, "Hey," and he was like, "Hey," and he was like, "Whose dick is bigger, yours or blank's?" Somebody on the Ducks, and he wrote back like a LOL.
During the game.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
The Jets are wicked. Are you a Jets fan?
I am. A guy that I grew up with is a goalie coach there, and I've become friends with a bunch of the guys.
Who's that?
Wade Flaherty.
The Jets are wicked. I don't know. I think the Jets are going to be even better this year.
I think so too, but I think we've learned the last couple of years, just get in, right?
Do you think that US is gonna? You think that Hellebuck's gonna? I think US is gonna win the Olympics. I think US is gonna win the gold medal at the Olympics.
If the US wins a gold medal at the Olympics and Hellebuck is playing net, I think there's a good chance they will win the Stanley Cup as well.
I think he'll be so spent though. But I honestly
I think his attitude will be you won't get anything by him. If he's able to win the Olympics, he has a new level.
Don't you think? Do you think Canada's going to beat him? I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it's going to be close. My concern was it's kind of like so the Four Nations last year lose the first game, win the big game. Well, we won the first tournament. Will we lose the second tournament?
That's what I think. I think the Chuck brothers and Cole Caulfield are just going to totally.
Yeah, there's other, and it's not gonna. You can't, if you fight, you're out of the tournament, right? So there's not going to be as rough.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. America's tougher than Canada. That actually hurts America.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I didn't think of that. They're going to be
the 3 fights they had. Canada played US recently.
Shut up. We're talking about hockey.
Yeah, no,
lift the weight.
Too.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, Obi, that the US is tougher and can beat up.
I know. I'm following what you're saying. I'm adding to the conversation.
I know.
So both of you can continue to talk. For the people listening.
I knew you were.
America and Canada played each other in a hockey game recently.
Come on, do a squat.
After Canada booed the national anthem, in the first 9 seconds, there was 3 fights. So there was literally 3 fights without any gameplay. It was fucking sick. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I love it.
That's the best part about hockey to me. I love that shit. I love the, not even the fight.
I love it all.
Just the willingness. Like you see a guy who's like, I'm a hockey player, but yeah, let's throw. Like, I'll put my stuff down. Maybe he gets his ass kicked in front of everybody. It doesn't matter to him. That, to me, that's awesome.
Obi, in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals a few years ago, they had ESPN side by side where Colin Campbell's nephew, Ian, you might remember his name, Campbell. He was on the Bruins and he broke his femur on a penalty kill.
Oh yes. I'm blanking on the name.
And he was on all threes. The game they did not blow it down. He had broken femur. He was on all threes, like 2 hands and a knee, throwing himself in front of the puck before collapsing on the ice and being like stretchered off. But they hadn't whistled it down. And on that same night, LeBron James left the finals because he had a cramp.
Yeah. It's a different sport, man. Different sport.
The only thing though is basketball players' toes are just unbelievably horrible looking. It's just
LeBron's toes are gross. Yeah. It looks like that weight hanging off of Connor's dong.
Yeah.
I got one thing in there. Hey.
That was awesome. Let's. Will you promise to come back?
Of course.
I knew Ian was gonna love you. I knew it.
I would come back any day.
Love it. We appreciate you coming on, and we wish you all success.
Thank you very much.
You seem like you found something that you love, and you work hard at what you love, and it's that's what the Husky Boys are all about, is about enjoying doing what you love and taking a chance and risking, and you've done all that. So
I hope that I'm not canceled because of my America project. That's all I'm saying.
It's from the right angle, though. It's so silly that like what you're doing in itself is not risque or anything. It's literally like information about how something occurs that happens in America all the time. Well,
Yeah.
how is that?
Well,
How is
supposed to
that?
be a celebration, but it was, I suppose it was not. I got death threats, got all sorts of, I was simultaneously called a Nazi and also that, like, it's terrible.
Yeah,
That's
you're evil on both sides.
Yeah, it's not people are just like go to, I don't know. Anyways, boys.
All right. Thank you very much
going.
for having me. It was great to meet you, Ian, and it was great.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, Rob.
Let's go to a game this year.
I'm in. I would.
All right.
Go into Habs all day, and I'll go to Jets for sure.
Okay. Next time the Jets are in town, we'll go. I prefer Kings.
I love the Kings. Corey Perry's on the Kings now.
So weird. So weird.
So good.
Man. Nice.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Rob.
I got a question before you leave.
Yeah.
Do you think DeBoer ends up as coach of the Kings before September? Or do you think
that'd be great?
I have a feeling he's going to end up there later in the year, but I'm just like, I've heard a rumor that he might be.
What did you think of that? That was weird what he did though with Ottinger.
What I've been told was he had already pulled him and he didn't hear. And that's why it got awkward, because he started skating back towards the net, but he had already pulled him.
But he walked right by him in the tunnel and he didn't look at him.
Yeah, coaches.
He's good though. I mean,
he's fantastic. He's fantastic, but he hasn't been able to get over just that hump. But at the same time, Maurice didn't get to that hump that he's at. Oh, we could go all day on this. We got to wrap it up. Let's talk soon.
Can I tell you one thing about Paul Maurice? Did you see the clip where they said that Kachuk's a free? No, it wasn't Kachuk. Was it who was a free agent? Bennett was a free agent this year. So it was Bennett, Marchand, and Barkov. So the sideline reporter's like, you must be worried about the whole Sam Bennett free agency thing. And he said something like, oh, I don't know if you guys heard, but he's got a terminal disease. It was right behind the bench. He goes, he got a terminal disease. We don't think he's going to make it. He hasn't gone public with it yet, but we're worried. We're worried that he's not going to make it through the summer. I thought that was a funny, great response.
They would never say that in any other sport. No big sport.
So great.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, buddy.
All right, see you soon. Pleasure.
I knew when I hit up Rob that you guys were going to get along. Rob's the man, and I knew the hockey thing was going to be big. I had a feeling you two were going to hit it off.
I got a little bit of a chub.
He's the man. You should see
He's done a lot, huh?
Oh my gosh. And you should see him the way he is, like right now talking to him, is the way he is on set. When it's tense, when things are crazy, he's somehow able to be like, no, we're like, he's at that tone, like that chill, like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't have to be aggressive about it. He's like I've worked with a million people. There's 2 people that I still communicate with, like that weren't like strongmen or whatever, and he's one of them. I talk to him weekly, even about stuff I argue with him a lot. Rob and I will call each other up just to fight about stuff, just because I love having a smart friend who has different ideas, and I love challenging my ideas and then talking to him about stuff, and he always teaches me something. Like today, all that stuff about getting your not your green card, it's not a visa. Is it a visa or a green card? Getting your green card.
Visa, you get a visa and then you get a green card.
Right.
Then you get citizenship.
So that process, like it's always awesome, like having a friend that actually is out there doing a bunch of things and then able to communicate about that, like he's one of the upper echelon for sure.
He seemed like a really nice guy. I look forward to talking to him again. The fact that you have a friend like that, I was like surprised. He didn't yell at us about lifting things up and putting things down. And I was,
right.
Anyways,
my friends aren't weightlifters.
That's awesome. That's what I like about you. You judge a lot of people judge you by the cover, right? And there's a lot of book there. So
yeah, Yeah, I get it. I'm a big cover. I get it.
Yeah. No, I'm saying there's a
No,
lot of books
I'm
there.
saying I don't judge them because of looking at my cover. You know, as a kid, when you grow up big, you get hounded on by a lot of older people that treat you like whatever. And so, like, growing up, I hated people for judging me based off my looks. Like, I was poor, I was big, and those things. It's like, it always seems cool in a rap song to be poor, but it's not. When you're poor,
It's not fun.
It's not fun. And so, like, I've learned in my older age, like, the people are going through their own process. Like, if they see me, naturally they feel a certain way, and that's actually supposed to happen. And then they're supposed to let that down and let you in and see who you really are. So I don't get so upset about it no more.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm
all right, buddy.
Canadian myself.
I love it. It's a good way to turn.
Sorry.
It's a good way to turn. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, buddy. Had fun.
Keep lifting.
Look at that. Look at that.
Wee wee.
Peace. At it.